assassins.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls who are somehow in possession of an MA-rated video game, this is an optional extra look at, and the game we are looking at is Assassin's Creed Origins. I'm Brian Hayes, who's somehow been allowed on one of these videos, and of course, joining me is Mitchell.
Technically, you never got on the two-player podcast, so it's okay.
Yeah, you maintained your statement.
We got it there. So Assassin's Creed Origins is obviously the newest Assassin's Creed game set in Egypt, and normally, I'll just point this out right at the start, I am very critical of Assassin's Creed. Like, very critical of Assassin's Creed. And for Assassin's Creed Origins, in my mind, to be considered good is amazing.
So it's one of those things where they said they were going to take a 1 year off instead of doing the yearly release, which I did not believe was enough time. But holy crap, was it enough time.
Damn right it was. Like, holy, my god, this game is like, there's so many things they're doing well in it now that I absolutely hated before.
Like, I was a fan. I was disappointed by the last couple, but I was still a fan. But there's just so many little things in here that aren't even... they're not just new for an Assassin's Creed game. I just haven't encountered this kind of thing before. Like, I was sauntering through the desert on my camel. Incidentally, I get a camel.
You start with a camel. It's amazing.
And there was... Have you seen this? There was a desert hallucination. I saw a bush on fire. When I got closer to it, it went out. The fire went out. When I got closer, it faded out of existence.
Okay, you sure that's not just a Ubisoft glitch?
No, it's a feature. It's a feature.
A feature. No, I haven't experienced that.
I've had some glitches. I had some containers and that were floating in midair when I rode past them on the horse. I've had the ground at the right angle look like water because it had glitched out a little bit. And I've been talking to a character in a cutscene and had a cart come by led by two ox, like crash into a wall and then just sort of jitter against the wall and bounce over it and then keep going.
It's kind of like the Bethesda kind of just stuff in the open world that just happens. It's just...
But it actually has been pretty minimal. Like, those are the only three I've encountered so far.
Yeah, I haven't really encountered anything so far on PC, which is weird. Unity did not run.
Oh, it's actually running well on PC, is it?
Yeah, it's running really well. Comes with all benchmarking tools and everything. It's like,
wow.
Ubisoft actually do put effort into their PC ports.
Because I've been impressed. I've been impressed just how well the Xbox is handling it. Because I did not expect it to be optimized at all, but I'm getting long-distance Vista views, and I'm not seeing a drop in graphics to achieve it. Maybe it's killing the resolution or something, I don't know.
Well, let's start off with Egypt as a whole, like, the terms of just how good the Egypt setting is, and it's just such a shame that no other game, really, that you can think of has actually done Egypt in an open-world environment at all.
I'm only, like, 2 sections into the campaign of however long it is, because I keep getting distracted by side missions.
So you're a bit further than me, yeah.
I do have the one complaint so far that I'm only incidentally picking up what's happening at the time, and Assassin's Creed's kind of guilty of this always, but I would have really liked to do they hammered home a little bit more. This is the era of Egypt you're in, and this is how it works. Because, like, there's a Jewish district. I saw monuments to Christ, but there's also the old Egyptian mythology still kicking around. The Romans are being mentioned as a force that's coming in. Cleopatra is being referenced. So it's a much later period of Egyptian history. If I didn't know any Egyptian history, I would be so confused right now.
Yeah, it's kind of like, at no point did they mention, like, this is not, they might, did they even mention the year at the start?
I don't believe so. But I think, case in point, when I realised on the incredibly huge map that I could just bugger off to the pyramids, so I was like, well, of course I'm going to do that.
No, I'm going to the pyramids. You're not giving me them in a game, I'm not going to them.
And when you get there, everything around it is just ruins. Like, it's post being a thing and pre being a tourist attraction. It's just an abandoned bit of desert that happens to have some people sauntering around.
Yeah, that is true. It's like, back then it's like tourism. It's like, that is not important.
Yeah, it's not possible.
Not even considered.
And it's not a trade route, so no one's going there.
Weird that, because we always imagine like the pyramids is like the heart of the Egypt like civilization, which at one point it was, but at the point you get to there, it's like there's all these other influences have gone in, and this is way later than that.
They're already grave robbing. And in fact, you are effectively. There's those
The
little
tombs.
yeah, but I don't. The tombs are one of my complaints. So I climb through the area. It looks awesome, and do my jumping and so on. I get there, see a big pillar. I point at it and go, "Oh look, writing of the old kingdom," and then I just leave. Why'd I do that? I still don't understand why I did that.
To look at the writing.
Oh, look, writing of the old kingdom. I can't read it. Guess we'll just leave it here.
Good on you guys. I'm sure someone will find you eventually. Thought it's probably a loot reward though, because the loot system, they're going all out with that.
I have like 10 different styles of melee weapons, 4 different styles of bows, and every single one of them is good. Like, they're all incredibly fun to use. I just got dual swords. I was just running in, mashing on people.
My favorite so far is the spear. I just like the distance and like especially how it does the like killing moves. And just you push a guy to the ground and you just stab him through the back with a spear. It's just very visceral.
And the best part is that the enemies are using the same suite of weapons, so you actually get a hell of a lot of diversity in what you're fighting.
Yeah,
and,
in terms of range and what they can do, it's more than Assassin's Creed has had at least. It feels like it.
And the combat, you would be liking the combat.
Yeah, it reminds me of Dark Souls. It's clearly not as good as it, but it took me some time to actually get the hang of it because sometimes it's a bit finicky sometimes with when you should attack because sometimes it looks like you have an opening but you don't and then they just hit you.
But the combat system is really strong, so if you mash dodge and you get the direction wrong, you still get hit.
You're getting hit because it's hitbox detected rather than the old system where it was like, you're in this area, you're going to get hit.
And more importantly, there's so many little things, like if you're running away and the shield's on your back, as far as I can tell, it still blocks arrows. Apparently, if you're carrying a corpse and it gets hit by the arrow, you don't take damage.
That's damn cool. The shield is it's really cool, all of the systems, especially because I just like how you can block with, like, it's kind of really salty, but you can block, you can attack, and you really got to be on your toes because I'm playing on hard difficulty, so if I get hit, I actually take a hit, and it makes you really have to really think about how you're going to go about the combat because that's why I like the spear because you can hit multiple people at once, kind of like a little cleave attack.
See, I'm on normal.
Useful for crocodiles.
Oh, crocodiles are so hard to fight. Did you come across the little side quest where there's the guy stuck on the pillar next to an island surrounded by crocodiles? I spent ages trying to work out how to save him. I
dived into the water and realized, okay, I'm surrounded by crocodiles now. This is a bad decision.
Yeah, you die so fast. I
managed to get out of the water somehow.
Oh, seriously? The only way I did it was hide on the coast and just wait for like throw things at the crocodiles until they came over and just wail on them.
I hopped up on that until I realized, okay, they need the crocodiles dead before he does anything, so I hopped back over on the beach and fought them. And then on my escape, I sunk the boat in a single hit when I hit a pillar. So I had to swim my way back.
But this game just generates stories like that. Like, I managed to steal a chariot, and I'm like, well, my next objective is over this mountain. Let's just see if I have an all-terrain chariot. And I got it to the top, jumped it, and then it just smashed into pieces on the way down, and the horses launched forward. I just jumped on a horse and kept riding. There's just so many little things in here that are so great to do. And all the side quests are actually fun. Like, they're not just go here, collect the thing, kill the guy, come back. They all have a little story that I actually want to know.
I can see there's some Witcher 3 in this game, because there's a lot of things that Witcher 3 did open world that games hadn't done before, and now I've noticed it in Assassin's Creed Origins where I could have already completed the quest objective, and I'll be talking to someone, and I'll just go, oh, I have actually solved your problem. It's really good when that's a thing where you don't have to go, okay, now I have to go over there for no reason.
Yeah, you've already cleared out the area, but saunter back because you didn't get the one quest item.
Yeah, please go have a look.
And what was it? It's just the little incidental ones. Like, I found a corpse in the middle of the desert, and it's like, go find the people that killed him. You're like, oh, okay. And you see some dudes riding past on a horse. You're like, oh, they killed him. So I killed them, and it's like, great, quest complete. And then their buddy, who wasn't part of the quest, just comes charging over a hill like, no, you're mine, and then just chased me all the way back into town because I was out of arrows and was not in position to have a sword fight in the back of a camel. So I was just like, no. There's like all these little incidental events, just brilliant.
Yeah, and the bird companion center is very useful for it's practically a drone.
Yeah.
I mean, it can slow down, but it's not. No eagle really does that. And they're somehow communicating, just telepathically or something.
Don't question it.
I won't question it, but it's really cool that you can kind of scout ahead because there's lots of environments are very big now, at least feeling sometimes when you have to when you want to sneak through it, and he does help you a lot.
The environments are no longer designed for you to have a clear line of sneak. Like, some of them is just like, no, if you try to go to that area, you're going to get detected, be ready.
There's a lot of Far Cry in this, actually, in terms of, like, upgrading your gear. You have to find and kill animals, and which is a cool thing the bird does. So if you're fighting a certain enemy, the bird might just come down and help you.
I know, the first time that happened, I lost my shit. I was just like, oh my god, my eagle.
He's a useful bird.
Have you been attacked by a vulture yet?
Yes, I have.
When that just happened before when I was playing, it's like, kill the vulture. I'm like, what vulture? Oh my god.
Them.
Yeah,
The
like,
vultures.
Run.
I ran out of arrows fighting them.
I was using the rapid fire bow. I ran out of arrows before I even hit him. And the other thing I find interesting, I was being told that's not actually in the game yet. It's being added in later for some reason. They're going to add a combatless, essentially tourist mode, so you can just go around. Yeah. I love that idea.
Yeah, so you can just go and explore it and learn stuff. That's like such a good idea. Games never do that. And yeah, this one has more content coming as well, like obviously DLC. It looks like there's one boss-related one where you fight the gods of Egypt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looks absolutely nuts. Like they're going, okay, we'll just go all out with that DLC. Yeah, there's a few armor packs and stuff. There is microtransactions in this game though.
I was going to say, this brings up one of my complaints. The store is ridiculous.
Yeah, I was just having a look at it, just so I'm like, okay, I need to know what the store's about so I can talk about it. Obviously, and it's just looking at you can buy the in-game currency.
Well, yeah, and the items in the store, you can get them all through game players and you can accrue the currency. And 99% of the items, I have no idea why you'd ever need them anyway. But
yeah,
the exchange rate between Australian dollars and Helix credits, as they're called, is ridiculous. Like, weapons are like $3-4, and you're like, but it's not even a multiplayer game. Why do I care?
Yeah, it's fully single player. There is no multiplayer. Why would I spend money when I don't have to? And like, I don't know why you would. It's just they just put it in there because there's always that person who might.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if we get some money from this, that's good enough for us.
And I mean, I was already a sucker and got the super fancy collector's edition, but I haven't used any of the add-ons yet. Like, I have no idea what any of this stuff is. They're like, you've got a new whatever. It's like, I don't care. Is it a sword? No, don't care. I've got my costume of me in just 2 towels. I run around with my dual swords. Job done.
Have you actually got another costume for him? Because my guy's Bayek still has this classic hair. He starts with like the kind of dreadlocky kind of thing.
Oh, really? You haven't had a haircut yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. I did
like
buy
his
him.
current haircut.
I did buy him a new costume early on, which looked pretty good. And I got the Altair and Ezio skins because I've got the same Uplay account. Incidentally, it's now Ubisoft Club, I think. That app, through every Assassin's Creed game it has ever been tied to, was the slowest thing known to man, and it still isn't fixed. If you boot that off the game, so launch another app over the top, go make a coffee or something and come back. It is still terrible.
Don't have that issues with PC, but I do have to use Uplay. And there's apparently some controversy that it's using, I don't know if it's using Denuvo, but it's using some kind of other DRM on top of the Uplay DRM, as well as being through Steam, so it's like 3 layers, and apparently it uses a shit ton of CPU usage. It's just kind of weird, but I really noticed it.
I bet you it's still not working.
I'm actually enjoying an Assassin's Creed game for once, which has not happened since Assassin's Creed 2.
Ah, that's a bit rough. But it's
for
definitely...
me,
I have no qualms in saying this is the best one.
Like, full stop, the best Assassin's Creed game.
And it's having fun with making itself fit into the overall canon without being bogged down by it so far.
I've had a glimpse of the whole out of the Animus system where it's like you can just hop straight back in. There's no like, you don't need to be out there currently, as far as I know. You can just keep playing the proper game.
Yeah, basically. There are mandatory out of Animus sequences, but they're quick.
Yeah, I think they finally realised that. Like, unlike Assassin's Creed 1, for example, where I was like, you're out for a while. Can't do anything about it.
Yeah, no one liked Desmond. And the new character that's out of the Animus is fine. Her entire character description is wants to be back in the Animus, and I can relate.
I think Ubisoft realised what they're like, people are going to want the Animus stuff, aren't they? But yeah, as far as the main character though, Bayek I actually really like him. He reminds me a little bit of Ezio sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit.
So, the one bit that took me a while to get, and it's hard to mention without any spoiler, but we'll keep it low. It took so long to explain why he was doing anything he was doing. Like,
I don't know his explanation yet. I'm just going off his character as a whole.
Well,
what I've played.
Yeah, he's introduced as essentially protector of the Pharaoh, and then by extension protector of Egypt. Like that's his job. and apparently that's a historically accurate position. And then you're going around essentially, well, like one of the side missions is destroying statues of the pharaoh. Like that's one of your collectible things. Incidentally, none of the whole like flag feather collectathon stuff, which is awesome. And yeah, so I'm standing there like beating the crap out of a pharaoh statue. I'm like, isn't this my boss? Don't I like this guy? And it took forever to explain to me why I didn't.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty obvious in the intro, kind of cinematic where you're just looking at the pharaoh and kind of not in a good light, because normally like somehow if he was a servant of him, it looked like he was in respect of him, but he really didn't look it. So I was like, okay, he clearly doesn't like the leader of Egypt.
And when they reveal it, it does kind of work for character development. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, that was neat, but I don't think they needed to hide it from you for so long. But luckily the actual gameplay loop keeps you there if you don't care about the story, and I don't think many people really will, to be honest.
Yeah, people are there for the setting, and well, I'm there for the setting. I'm sure a lot of people are. It's probably, the gameplay is pretty fun. The gameplay loop of sneak in, kill everyone, or just go straight in and kill everything, because you can do what you like.
And I actually like hunting in this one. Like, it's actually fun. I've never enjoyed it in a single Assassin's Creed game.
I didn't know an Assassin's Creed game had it.
Yeah, it was a major feature of 3.
I didn't play much of 3, I'll be honest.
And also, it's nice that it does little nods to the canon without really bothering to try and flesh it straight in. Like, everyone knows you're going to get a hidden blade. It's not a surprise that there's a plot point where you get a hidden blade. And
yeah.
They make reference to whose blade it is. And you're like, oh, okay, now I see how this ties back in, because as the marketing material suggests, this will be the birth of the Assassin's Order, but it's not. You are not the first assassin. You're not the first person to think, I should kill a dude with a hidden blade. So it's just nice how they made that all tie in together.
Yeah, so Assassin's Creed Origins, like, really good game. I actually like it. This has been a look at. I've been Mitch, and joining me has been Bryan.
That's correct. I can confirm.
This is correct. This is information we know. And thank you for watching.
Must only fight when it is just.
I'll practice hard, Papa. I want to be strong and hunt like you do.